Hi there, welcome to Wyckoff Technical Analysis session for Polygon. So last week we already shared is Polygon heading to the moon? Has the rocket been ignited? So well, probably it's already 10 days, not even last week, because I've changed the schedule. If you don't know the new schedule, go to the community post. I have put up the post over there. So back to the chart. Here we can see it's still being suppressed under this key level, basically around 2.27 cents. This key level, while there's no number over here, is actually the bottom of the long-term playground zone. So when I say this, that basically means over the past few years since 2021, the price most of the time has been trading within this white box, except the major peak or distribution cycle back in 2020, late 2021 to early 2002. Well, there was a little while over there during mid 2021, but that was a very short period. So here, again, while we are seeing this price seems to be consistently retesting this key level of 27 cents, one thing I have to reiterate, see this yellow dashed line. Buying climax after buying climax after buying climax, the price of the peaks have been lower, getting lower and lower. This one was even crazier before this dump. So one very key point I shared in previous sessions is that this time, if Polygon is really heading towards a new distribution cycle, meaning towards this peak over here, we hope the peak to be somewhere above the white line. Best go over it and test the green key level of 0.93. Reason being, if this trend continues, that means Polygon's long-term value will continue to decline, and if you're trying to invest or speculate on it, your return may be minimized just because of this mega trend going on since February 2023. So 2.5 years already, this trend has been continuing, and this this peak over here was even crazier. It does not even get to well, it basically is almost half of where it should get to at least. So keep this backdrop in mind from the macro perspective while we're hoping for a distribution cycle. When it happens, obviously you can celebrate if you have put in an order, but more importantly, besides reaping the profit, this price better go above the green. So that's the initial start, and then let's go deeper to daily. Just before going in, let's check the Bollinger Band corner squeeze. The squeeze is definitely still going on. It started since beginning of July, and now it's already 2 months in. So I would say there's sufficient force gathered already. So any time from now, it's going to happen, because I believe in previous sessions I already shared this upward trend line, even though it shows up is around mid of November, but I always mention the breakout doesn't wait till the very tip. So especially when it tested this key level for 3 consecutive weeks already. So while there's still a chance for it to come down to retest this support line, the likelihood of it getting over the white line is getting bigger. I'll show you why now in the daily chart. Here, still accumulation cycle. We talk about this backup and last point of support, especially this platform period over here. you see this horizontal trading range, right? So it's a typical observation before the price swing up. Well, it basically got up a little, but it's probably not over yet. It's just because it has passed this resistance line, especially if we look at, let me enlarge it because I know a lot of you are watching on mobile phone, so better make it as, I can use this and switch it off, as large as possible. So here we can see clearly on August 31st, the first challenge, we've got a lot of selling right there. First, for one, it went over this key resistance, so the tendency of it coming back down, it's already there. Second, it challenged this resistance line as well, in like on the same day. It challenged two lines, so that's why, given the two, obviously it's going to be heavily rejected. So this blue line over here is basically the upward trend channel. So you see the peaks bouncing off between the two edges. So it's very normal for the price to come back down to, I call it the center line. I haven't drawn it here. These channels tend to have a center line, and it doesn't mean it always cut the box in half. It doesn't always cut the channel exactly half-half. It depends on the activity along the line. So with most frequent activities, I don't want to use this pen, I'm going to use the highlighter. So these activities is where we decide where the line goes. So this right now is getting to somewhere along this line, so that's why it's rebounding right there yesterday. So it got close to this center line, and then it had to where it is, but then got rejected from the white resistance line. So it's very interesting seeing these behavior along those lines. And quickly, again, if this triangle happens to govern the movements, the price movements of the next few days, a breakout would happen before the end of this month. So you see this cross on October 2nd, exactly this point where the center line crosses the this white line over here. Basically the top, I think it's the top edge, no, bottom edge of the long-term playground zone. So there's not much time left, basically 20 days. If the price still continues to trade narrow in the next few days, or even like a week and a half, eventually it will break out by end of September. And well, this, if you look at it from a shorter term perspective, this is an ascending triangle according to the candlestick pattern analysis. But keep in mind, those candlestick pattern analysis is highly subjective. A lot of times, even if you observe such a pattern, it doesn't turn out the way the pattern is being considered. Say this ascending triangle is being considered a bullish sign, sometimes you will find exceptions, that it doesn't go to the upside but went to the downside instead. However, in this scenario, the buying power seems to be getting stronger and stronger. Look at this, after several tests, 2 days, that buying force finally forced the price to stay above the white line over here for 4 days before earlier this week it returns to test a lower level, but then still above this center line of the upward channel. So it isn't too bad after this platform period that I mentioned earlier. So this horizontal period, it's very key, a foundation for the price to shoot up where it did for a little bit already. So quickly, Bollinger Band and counter squeeze again. So this was where the squeeze happened and the price shot up. Now the squeeze isn't that tight, but it doesn't mean it can't go up. So here there was another squeeze where the price shot up. Here there wasn't, well, there was a bit, but it was pushing down and then up. So that's why I say when a squeeze happens, it indicates a swing, a bigger price swing is coming. Don't think it's always towards the upside. It can go up quickly and then go down quickly as well. So for now, a squeeze hasn't happened yet, but the lines are getting closer. The bottom one is getting towards the orange, and this one is getting flattened, so it would soon come down if the price continues to trade narrow range within this triangle. So when that happens, combining this crossover here, all three indications are pointing towards a breakout. So Bollinger Band and counter squeeze, this triangle over here, plus the narrowing of the trading range, all three are pointing towards the breakout, well, hopefully towards the upside. And if that happens, that means, okay, we've got this, we've got the sign of strength, and so that eventually will be, drum roll, the PSY. And obviously after PSY is the actual climax that a lot of people are hoping for. So I'm gonna keep these still here. 90%, 95%, 5%, yeah, that's pretty I would say wild assumption. Given what's going on here, it's even challenging this. So what I hope to see is for the price to close above this key level of 27 cents for the next few days. So it continues to go upwards along the upper half of this upward channel. If it doesn't, if it wait till later of the month, then next time when we come back to cover Polygon, it will be very close to the time where the breakout would happen. So the 17th, if we come back on the 17th, it's getting very close to the breakout point. So maybe we'll still have a chance to see that within this triangle before it shoots up to the PSY level. But my guess is probably going to happen earlier. But for now, expect this like on the weekly chart, kind of similar, 95%, that's where I'm gonna put it. But it's not always just one candle, remember, okay? PSY period can fluctuate before it heads to the peak. And then this back up, last point of support, I would say it's already happening, unless it comes down for a test, which at the moment I would say is probably 5 to 10%, but yeah, let's keep it this way so it's consistent with the daily chart. That's all for Polygon.